When Pandora opened the box, she never knew that she would be unleashing every form of evil and suffering that humanity would come to endure. But who was Pandora? Who gave her the box? And why was she told never to open it? In this video, we're going to explore the ancient tale of Pandora's box. Pandora's tale begins long before her own creation, rooted in the ancient conflict between gods and titans. According to legend, the world was once at war between the formidable ancient titans and the mighty gods of Olympus. The titans were overthrown by the Olympians led by Zeus in a great war known as the Titanomachy. After the war, the Titans were imprisoned in Tartarus, a dark abyss deep within the earth. However, a few Titans, including Prometheus, were spared this fate because he had sided with the Olympians during the war. Despite his allegiance to the Olympians, Prometheus had a soft spot for humanity. He saw the potential in humans and wanted to help them reach their full potential. To do this, he decided to steal the sacred fire from the gods and give it to humanity. Fire was a symbol of knowledge and civilization, and by giving it to humans, Prometheus was giving them the means to develop and progress. But Prometheus didn't stop there. He continued to look out for the well-being of humans and devised a clever trick to protect them from the gods. He presented Zeus with two bundles, one filled with delicious meats and covered with unappetizing bones, and the other filled with bones covered with delicious meats. Zeus, unable to tell the difference, chose the bundle with the bones, allowing humans to keep the delicious meats for themselves. This trick enraged Zeus, as it gave humans an advantage and challenged his authority. In his anger, Zeus decided to punish Prometheus in a way that would serve as a warning to others who might dare to defy the gods. He had Prometheus chained to a giant rock in the Caucasus Mountains. Every day, a giant eagle would fly down from the heavens and feast on Prometheus's liver. Because Prometheus was immortal, his liver would regenerate each night, only to be eaten again the next day. This was to be Prometheus's punishment for all eternity. But the damage had been done. Now that humanity had received the sacred fire, it had created an imbalance of power between the gods of Olympus and humanity. To correct the imbalance that Prometheus had created, Zeus set to create a calamitous plan. He summoned Hephaestus, the skilled blacksmith of the gods, to fashion a being of unparalleled beauty and charm, endowed with irresistible gifts from the Olympian gods. With his skilled hands, Hephaestus began his work, crafting the most exquisite creation the world had ever seen. With his mastery of creation, Hephaestus used clay to form a being. It's not known if it was days, months, or years, but when he was done, Hephaestus had created what Zeus had asked for, the first mortal woman. This woman was Pandora. When Hephaestus's creation was ready, one by one, the god of Olympus bestowed a gift to Pandora. The name Pandora itself means one who bears all gifts. Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war, breathed life into the clay figure and also taught Pandora various skills such as weaving. Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, gave Pandora her beauty and charm. Hermes, the messenger of the gods, gave Pandora the gift of speech and also put in her mind lies and crafty words. Other gods bestowed various gifts upon Pandora. For example, the Charites, goddesses of charm, and the Horae, goddesses of the seasons, adorned her with fine clothes and jewelry. Knowing that the gods would want revenge for what he had done, Prometheus warned his brother Epimetheus never to accept any gifts from the gods. Despite warnings from his brother, when Zeus presented Pandora to Epimetheus, he was captivated by her enchanting charm and beauty and fell in love and took her as his wife. Unbeknownst to Pandora and Epimetheus, Zeus had asked Athena to plant the seed of curiosity in Pandora's heart. This seed grew into an unquenchable flame that burned brighter with each passing day. As Pandora and Epimetheus lived together in bliss, Zeus's plan began to unfold. In the last phase of Zeus's plan, he presented Pandora with a mysterious, ornate box. Well, that's not entirely true. In Hesiod's original version of the story, Pandora was actually given a pithos, a large jar used for storage of wine, oil, grain, or other provisions. The mix-up between the jar and the box is the result of a mistranslation by Erasmus of Rotterdam, who translated the story and turned the Greek word for jar into the Latin word for box. Regardless of whether it was a jar or a box, it was given as a wedding gift from Zeus, adorned with symbols of wonder and mystery, with just one condition, that she was never to open it. With each passing day, Pandora's curiosity grew and grew. With every moment that passed, she wondered what was in the box that was so important that no human eyes could look at it. Why did Zeus put it in her care? The flame of curiosity that Athena had sown in Pandora's heart burned fiercer with each passing moment. The enigmatic box seemed to call out to her, its whispers of hidden secrets and unimaginable treasures filling her mind. At times, she could almost swear she heard something moving within its confines, as if the box itself was alive. The sounds seemed to form a siren song, beckoning her to lift the lid and reveal its mysteries. Despite her gifts of wisdom and intelligence, the temptation was too much for Pandora. In a moment of weakness, Pandora convinced herself that she would take one small peek inside the box and then never think of it again. But as she carefully opened the box, the lid burst open, freeing a dark cloud and a horrendous chorus of screams. A hush fell over the world as the dark cloud spread, releasing all the evils that Zeus had trapped inside the box. Pandora watched in horror as they flew out, each one a different form of suffering and pain. There were diseases, sadness, and all kinds of bad things that had never existed in the world before. Pandora was frozen in shock, her heart heavy with guilt and regret. She had unleashed these terrible things upon the world, and there was no way to take it back. The world was now a place filled with pain and suffering, all because of her curiosity. But then, just as Pandora was about to close the box, she heard a small, gentle voice coming from inside. It was soft and comforting, like a sweet melody. With hope in her heart, Pandora opened the box once more. Out flew a beautiful glowing spirit. This was Hope, the only good thing that had been trapped inside the box. Hope flew out into the world, spreading its light and warmth and giving people the strength to endure the hardships that had been unleashed. Pandora watched as Hope flew away, feeling a small sense of relief. Even though she had brought so much pain into the world, she had also released hope. And as long as there was hope, people would have the strength to overcome the challenges they faced. Zeus, despite his wrath and desire to punish Prometheus and restore the balance of power between humans and gods, never intended to destroy humanity. He recognized that without hope, the burden of sorrows and hardships would be too much for mortals to bear. Hope was a subtle act of compassion, a message to mortals that while life's journey might be fraught with suffering and challenges, the flame of hope would always flicker, guiding them toward brighter tomorrows. Interestingly, the story of Pandora has not always been told in the same way. In fact, there are different versions of the myth that present Pandora in a very different light. Some experts believe that before Hesiod's interpretation, Pandora was actually seen as a generous earth deity who bestowed blessings upon humanity. This is a stark contrast to the version of the story we are familiar with today, where Pandora is the bringer of suffering and hardship. After exploring the tale of Pandora, it's interesting to note the similarities between this ancient Greek myth and the story of Adam and Eve from the Bible. In both stories, the first woman is portrayed as the catalyst for humanity's suffering. Pandora opens the box, or jar, and releases all the evils into the world, while Eve eats the forbidden fruit, leading to the fall of man. Some scholars suggest that the spread of Greek culture may have influenced the Christian and Jewish interpretations of Scripture, with the misogyny present in Hesiod's story potentially playing a role in how Eve is portrayed in the book of Genesis. Regardless of the historical connections, these stories reflect a common theme in human mythology: the idea that with knowledge and consciousness comes suffering, but also the possibility of hope and redemption. The story of Pandora and the box is a rich and complex tale that explores themes of curiosity, temptation, and the duality of human nature. It serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of unchecked curiosity and the unforeseen outcomes that can result from our actions. The gods' gifts to Pandora are symbolic of the qualities that make us human, both our virtues and our flaws. The box itself represents the unknown and the potential for both good and evil. Pandora's act of opening the box is a metaphor for human curiosity and the desire to explore the unknown, even when we know it might bring harm. What do you think of Pandora's story? Would having a life without suffering be better than a life without hope? Let me know in the comments. If you don't want to miss the next installment of Mythology, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications.